Ve'at tzarich lahavin inyan zayin neros shehem zayin midos. And now we need to understand the concept of the 7 candles, which are the 7 attributes. Shebapasuk l'chavaya hagdula chulu in the verse. To you Hashem is the greatness, and so forth. Ad l'cha havaya hamamlachat, until to you Hashem is the kingship. Ki midas hachesed nikra gdula, because the attribute of kindness is called greatness. Kemoshikosov yumam yitzavi havaya chastu, like it says that every day Hashem commands His kindness. Shekol mida nikra yom, that every attribute is called day. Kemoshikosov shishis yamim asa havaya chulu, like it says 6 days Hashem made. That doesn't say bisheshis yamim. And the kindness is called the day that goes with all the days. Because it's the first attribute, and it's greater, bigger than all the other attributes. So that's why it's gedula, because it's the great one, the first of them. Ein biurei Zohar Parshas Vayetze binyan holech el darom chulu. Look what it says in biurei Zohar about that it goes in from the pasuk of Mishlei, that it goes to the south being the Chesed. V'sovev el tzafon, and then it goes to Gvura. And also the concept of kindness greatens all the other attributes. Because kindness is called water. And water greatens and makes things grow. And therefore kindness is called the greatness. And the main concept is that in Atzilus it's called Chesed, and beyond Atzilus, that's where it's called Gudula. Because in Atzilus it's the kindness of Shema, that the difference between Gudula and Chesed is that Gudula implies a certain self-aggrandizing, and Chesed is more bittul, because Atzilus is Shema, like it says Ohr Hatorah. That in Atzilus you have the concept of the tikkun, the kelim b'iskalulus and so forth, so that they're in bittul al derech mashikasu ba'Avraham, like it says by Avraham, va'anochi afar va'efer, that he said, I am dust and ashes. Whereas in Tohu and so forth, the midos are bitokef. L'chein haya bal chesed gadol, and therefore Avraham, who had this bittul, he was we call him bal chesed. He was a great bal chesed. K'moshekaz val pasuk eretz harim u'vikaos, like it says on the verse, land of mountains and valleys. In Avraham karo har. But above Atzilus, there the kindness is from greatness. The giving doesn't come from the fact that he's bottled and doesn't feel himself and therefore gives, but it comes from the fact that he's so great and therefore he gives. That his greatness is no end, has no end. That the whole entire order of creation does not compare or hold any place at all. And with just the letter Yud, the entire world to come was created. Os Echad, only one letter. Vein Aruch Elav Klal, there's no comparison to him at all. L'chein Nimshach Ribui Chesed, and therefore is drawn a lot of kindness. And allegorically, like a king, that the greater the greater he is, that's corresponding will in a correspondingly, you'll have a greater measure of flow from him. The king will distribute more, the greater he is. And in the soul, the concept of greatness is called love, as opposed to humility of chesed, I guess. Because it's not comparable, someone who does things from fear to someone who does them from love. That's more giving. Now you have two concepts in love. The first concept is the small love that comes from contemplation. And you have a great love that comes from beyond intellect. And it's called with all of your might, without boundary. And this great love is called gedula, is called greatness. The chesed, as we call it, greatness. Whereas avazuta would be chesed. And so this great love comes from beyond intellect, and it comes from the supernal concept of greatness, from the beyond the word of creation, like we said. And that's the concept of Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, the great Kohen, that's why he's called Gadol, that he draws down revelation from the concept of to you Hashem is the greatness. So I wonder if that means that all these midos in Chavaya Gdula are midos from beyond Seichel. So anyways, that he draws the concept down, the concept of to you Hashem is the greatness, to have a great love in the soul, and Gvura is the attribute of strength, of fear. Because you do not fulfill your obligation just with love, because your love can cover over all your sins, and you won't do tshuva for them. You'll ignore your personal faults because of love, if it's just love. And it can be that your service will have a personal reflection and an involvement of yourself. Like we said, that the gedula is different from chesed, and gedula, that whereas chesed is bittul, gedula is yesh, and so therefore you need with that ava from gedula, you need to have also yira. And also because you're not going away from bad completely, and therefore you further need to have the attribute of fear. And from this attribute, you'll be careful about your deeds. And to make sure your path is proper. Like our sages said, anyone who places their way. Like the pasuk, and therefore it says, with Zos Aaron will come. What's Zos? That's the concept of fear, which is drawn from the concept of the attribute that's called Zos, Shubechinas Malchus. And therefore it's called and the Gvura. That from this is drawn that you should get angry, your good inclination, on your bad inclination, and to place your path properly. Now it says in Habakkuk, Hashem, I heard what you said or about you, and I was afraid. We need to understand, what is this I heard you're hearing, or heard what was heard about you? What does it mean? Gam harashi tevos shel pasuk hu bez pamim yesh. Shamati shimacha yaresi. So to, I guess, so you have shin, and then you have a kaf, or you have a yud. And the concept is Kishma Yisrael, because we have the concept of listen Israel, Shuhu Shem Ayin. What's Shema? So Shema is Shem and Ayin, Zayin Midos Haklulim Me'eser, that the Ayin is the 7 attributes, as they are composed of 10. Hem Ayin are 70. Ukishnichlalim Bebina Nikra Ayin Rabasi, and when these Midos are in their source in Bina, that's called the big Ayin. So that's Shema. Now the attributes themselves are not drawn and live in the worlds of Biyah. And only a glimmer alone from the attributes is drawn in Malchus in order to enliven the world. V'zeu Shem Ayin, and that's the concept of Shem Ayin. The Malchus is Shem, and the Ayin is the Midos from their Makor. Sham Malchus Nikra Kain, that Malchus is called Shem Ayin. Lefi Shehirak Shem V'ha'ara Me'amidos, it's because it's only a Shem of the Midos. It's only a glimmer of the attributes. And that's the first parish of the word Shema. And the second meaning of the word Shema is a language of gathering, the kibbutz. Like it says that Shaul gathered the nation. That is to gather into the name, drawing down and revelations of the essence of the 7 midos, of the supernal midos, of the big ayin. That is to draw down from the essence of the midos. So the first perush is that it's only a glimmer, and the second perush is that we're drawing down, we're gathering in the essence. So these are two opposite perushim. One that it's only a glimmer, and the other that it's the essence. That is, that you should have a union and a connection of the name, which is Malchus, to the essence of the big ayin. Like the concept that we're called the gathering of the souls of Israel. To gather together, because it gathers in inside it, the revelation from the essence of Yisrael above, which is Tiferes. And how do you gather into Malchus? That's through the fulfillment of the mitzvos specifically. Shekesh and Shamas Yisrael hem b'shleimus b'kiyum ha-mitzvos. Remember, this whole explanation of Shema is to understand the Shamati Shimacha. But continuing in the beer, so that how do you draw down into Malchus is through fulfilling the mitzvos. Shekesh and Shamas Yisrael hem b'shleimus b'kiyum ha-mitzvos. That when the souls of Israel are complete in the fulfillment of the mitzvahs, then they draw down into Malchus, which is called the name Hagili Ma'atzmus Hamidos Lihios Yichud, or the revelation of the essence of the attributes. That's called the union, the Midos into Malchus. And that's what it means that I heard your Shema or your Shema. Shimacha nekraha Malchus. What's your Shema? That's the Malchus, like we said. Kmo Shem Ayin Chulu. Shamati Shimacha. What does it mean? I heard your Malchus. I heard your Shema. Hanu la'asof v'lakabetz b'Hashem gilui atzmius hamidus elyonos. That is Shamati. I gathered Shimacha, the Malchus, into Malchus. That is to gather into the name, the revelation, Gilui Atzmius Hamidus Elyonos, the revelation of the essence of the supernal attributes, Shalom Sof Baruch Hu, of the infinite light may be blessed. V'zeu Perush Shamati Lashon Asifa Chulu, and that's what the first Perush is of Shamati, is that I gathered, language of gathering. And the second is the essence of the midos. Like the second Perush of Shema. L'chein beis pamim yesh, and therefore 2 times the word yesh, tarach mitzvos is 220 mitzvos. Shaydei kiyuma mitzvos dafka mamshichim kanal, that through the fulfillment of the mitzvah specifically, we draw down with Perush Yaresi. And what does it mean that I feared? Hanuki Shimacha, hu bechinas Malchus. That it's because Shimacha, like we said, the essence of the Midos is into Malchus, is drawn down into Malchus. That's Yaresi. Like we said, Bezos is the fear. Like the Zohar says that hearing is dependent upon this level of fear. Or I guess Re'iyah is more like Ahava. And in this concept is the main place of fear. Because the whole service of the souls of Israel in the fulfillment of the Torah and the mitzvos, it all touches, it's all for the concept of Malchus, of Hashem's kingship. That when a person does an avera, God forbid, that it blemishes above, so the main blemish is in the concept of Malchus. Which is not the case. Beyond Malchus, it doesn't affect it so much. Location is Shamas Yisrael. When the souls of Israel are complete in their fulfillment of the Torah mitzvos, to go away from bad and do good. Now the main exaltedness, is that you elevate Malchus. You show that Hashem's kingship is great and exalted overall because you fulfilled the Torah mitzvos. Amar David, Aromimcha Elokai Melech, like it says, I will exalt you, my Elokah the king. So the Aroma is to Malchus. B'chol birchos ha-mitzvos anu omrim melech haolam, and all the blessings on the mitzvahs we say, specifically that he's the king of the world, that you have to have shame and malchus. And the bracha is the greatening. Ikar ha-hamshacha b'shvil b'chinas ha-malchus, that the main drawing down is for malchus, the main bracha, the drawing of Lashon Hamshacha, is to Malchus, v'zeu kiddush Hashem, and that's the concept of sanctifying the name, b'mikadesh l'shem, al derech mikadesh shmecha, like we are called those who sanctify your name, that you draw down Hamshacha into Shem from Kodesh. And so too, the opposite, God forbid, when we don't draw down through the mitzvos, you have a chilul of the name, a desecration of the name, God forbid. The point is that it's all in the name, Malchus, which is Malchus. And since specifically in Malchus, the service of below, that's where it affects. Specifically in Malchus, therefore, specifically here is the place of fear. Because in the concept of Malchus, it's very scrutinized on the deeds of below. That's where it affects the deeds. That's where the deeds affect, and therefore that's where it cares about the deeds. That's where we're scrutinized because of Malchus. So that's where that's the Makom Hayira. And when the generation is not proper, God forbid, Nimshacha Onish b'me'od is drawn down the punishment very much. Like it says in the Zohar on the verse, and do good, the Hakedain Nuradalik, that like that a fire is burned, and burns the world in its flame. And therefore Habakkuk said, I heard your hearing, and I was afraid that I gathered in the hashpah of the essence into Malchus, and I had the concept of the fear from this level. And Bahaloscha is right after Chag HaShavuos, right by Chag HaShavuos, when we read this Haftarah of Habakkuk. On the second day, and so to Rashbi in the beginning of the Idra Kadshama Knufyailah, when he heard the great gathering above, the Miskanshin Arkuvosov, that as they're gathering, Arkuvosov Dalada Nakshan, his knees hit together in fear. Mamar, and he said this pasuk of Vaya Shemati Shimachayaresi, I heard your hearing, and I was afraid. Ayin Sham, look over there. And the Idra comes right before Bahaloscha in Parshas Naso, the Idra Rabbah. So I guess it also has to do with, in general, the Kabbalah Torah mitzvahs on Chag HaShavuos. So that's l'chaya v'yagdula v'agvura. The gdula we explained was midos, was ava shalom ayla maseichel, but you also need the fear to temper that kind of love, because it comes from beyond intellect, and that's the concept of malchus, the makom malchus. So it's interesting that Gvura includes the concept of fear from Malchus. So what's the next midah, which is Tiferes? That's to gaze at the beauty of the king, which is the concept of gazing and seeing Biakar Tiferes Gdulas Ein Sof Baruch Hu, and the beauty of the greatness of Ein Sof. So if we said the Gvura is connected the Gdula, so the concept of Tiferes on this level is also Tiferes Gdulas. Is the Tifera is to gaze at the Tiferes of the Gdula. How his Gdula is without end. So we said that Shamati Shimacha is Gvura. So Tiferes is Re'iyah. So Gvura is hearing and Tiferes is seeing in this context. That you're gazing at his greatness, that all the order of creation does not hold any place at all in comparison. Because it's created only from a glimmer, and a glimmer of a glimmer. And all in comparison is as naught. And about this it says, your eyes are like doves. That in this gazing and seeing is with a sweetness of pleasure. Ad Ein Sof Mamash, truly infinitely. Like it says, the eyes of man will never be satisfied. So that's the concept of Ein Sof in the vision of seeing the greatness of Hashem. V'hinei lamayla b'tiferes meir hariyah de chachma. Now above in Tiferes shines the sight of the level of chachma. Even though we said before that shame is the concept of malchus, and we draw down the ayin to the shame, the bina, and we also mentioned kadshesh mecha, which l'chora is drawing down kodesh, which would be chachma. But here we're saying, in general, that the concept of ayin of midos is to bina, but tiferes and the that's the concept of shmiya. But the tiferes is the concept of vision, and that's the concept of chachma. The is chachma kamosh kasaba gas lebiro da'ata hitzavta in shamperek beis. V'hu gile gamor bechinas tiferes gdulas ein sof baruch hu, and that's a complete revelation of the beauty of the greatness of the infinite may be blessed. Ulamata benefesh uinyan listaklaken hanal, and below in the soul, it's the concept of to gaze, like we said. Vihini Tiferes hu midas harachamim. Now, Tiferes is the attribute of mercy. And at first glance, you could ask, what connection does mercy have to the concept of beauty? Why are they connected, these two ideas? And the concept is, and the concept is that mercy is specifically for somebody who goes down from a high place to a low, from the high heights to the low pit. Like a rich person who becomes poor, so you awaken upon him, is awakened upon him great mercies, more than the poor person who was always poor. And now the source of the souls of Israel is from a very high place, that were called sons to the omnipresent. That is, that our root is in the concept of Tiferes. We are duploim, and we descended downwards. Islabish beguf and nefesh bahamis. Tiferes is like the concept of Yaakov or Yisrael, because we're Yisrael, we're Bnei Yisrael. We're coming from extensions of the concept of Yisrael. So we come all the way from Tiferes, v'yardu Palayim, and we descended awesomely, Lislabish Beguf, to be enclosed in a body, v'nefesh Bahamis, and an animalistic soul, b'olam hazeh, in this world, Tachlis HaChoshech, the complete darkness. Vanu ein masigim kol kach harachmanas aleinu, and we do not grasp so much the mercy, the Rachmanas upon us, because we do not grasp the greatness of the beauty and splendor of the infinite may be blessed, from which the neshama came. So the concept of Tiferes is the height where you come from, and the Rachamim is specifically on someone who comes from the height, from the beauty. Therefore, we say, in your great mercies, that it's in your mercies specifically, that specifically above is understood the Rachamim upon us. And also notice it's Rachamecha Rabim. If these midos are midos not beyond the tzilus, so we're saying that we're talking about Tiferes as it is Rachamim Rabim. That it's Rachamim that's not musig to the Tachtonim. Midas Tiferes Tafko, Midas Rachamim. That's why the attribute of Tiferes specifically is the attribute of Rachamim. That it comes from the revelation of the beauty of the greatness of the infinite may be blessed. Therefore, the mercy upon the tremendous descent of the souls of Israel. And in comparison to the revelation of the Tiferes above, the beauty above, correspondingly will be the attribute of mercy. The more you reveal the splendor of above, the more you will feel the descent downwards. And the more you have the revelation of this Tiferes, the more you'll have the attribute of mercy, because the souls of Israel come from Tiferes, like it says, Yisrael, in you that I pride myself, that I beautify myself. So the more we feel our shoresh, and the higher the shoresh feels, the lower the descent is, and the more the rachmanos. And therefore, through this attribute of Tiferes, we awaken great mercies because of the tremendous descent. Now we explain these three attributes in the Chavai Gdula Gvura Tiferes, Shem Avavir V'Rachmim B'Nefesh, which are love and fear and Rachmim in the soul. Fal Zeksiv. And on this it's written, Hinach Yafarayasi. Here you are beautiful, my beloved. And through this you draw down above. That you, my beloved, are beautiful. So if the Rayasi, if the feminine beloved is beautiful, this draws down from above. You are beautiful in the masculine from above. In Kudshabrichu. Now it's interesting if these midos in Vayivarach David are, according to this explanation, beyond the tzilus. According to the Ramak in Tefillah Moshe, they're specifically midos of Malchus because they're in the feminine. Dula, Gvura, because they have Hey at the end.